How to create custom contact form using Shopify. Hey everyone and welcome. I hope you're all doing great. In this video, I will show you how to create your very own custom contact form with Shopify. So usually you would just have your good old contact form that is given to you by default. It's this one right here. But if you want to create a different one or completely for a different purpose or exactly the same purpose, it's exactly the same thing, you get to do so, and I will show you how to do so in this video. But before we even get to that, just make sure if you just go to settings and go to your information, make sure you set up this store email to be the email that you want these submissions for these contact forms to be sent to. So if you want to edit this to have a different email address, for example, contacting email address, you just click on here. Make sure you change this to the email that you want to have the submissions sent to. So this is basically step one to actually go ahead and do so. Step two is actually going ahead to your Shopify dashboard, go to add apps, or go to just go to the Shopify app store basically. And we will be installing a third-party application, which is Shopify Forms. So you can just type in Forms, and it should pop up real quick. It's this one right here. We will be using Shopify Forms. It is going to be very easy to use, and it is completely for free. So you can actually go ahead and start using it right now. So we just click on install. Just make sure it is the correct one. Click on install and make sure that you install it for your Shopify store basically. So let me just go ahead and finish up the installation process. Shouldn't take too long. There you go. Just click on install. Make sure it is right there installed for our store. And basically what this allows you to do is actually go ahead and create your own custom forms that you want to create. So this could be different from any contact form that you would want. So anyways, once it opens up, if it doesn't open up right away, you can just find it within the apps section. Just click on it and it's going to show you this page right here. So basically what you will need to do is just click on create form. And then from here, we can just choose the type of form we want it to be, whether it's going to be an inline form or pop-up form. Usually you would want to go for inline unless you know what you're doing with the pop-up, or if you want just to use the pop-up form, completely up to you, but I will be using the inline form for the sake of this example. And then you would want to give it a proper name that is going to tell you exactly what this form is about. It could be a subscription form or whatever it may be. Let me just name a subscription form just for the sake of this video. There you go, subscription form. Click on create, and now you have your form here. Basically here is going to be the editing part of the form creation. So here on the left panel, which is this panel right here, is basically going to be the settings, and on the right side you will see the preview of how it's actually going to look like. So basically we'd want to change the title first and name it something that matches the name of the form. So we said it is a subscription, so we can just do subscription form like so. And now we can just go ahead and change the content, which is going to be this text right here. So we can actually go ahead and change this to subscribe or whatever it may be that you really want. So I'm just using subscription as an example because I can't really think of anything unique at this time. So just make sure you set up the title and this accordingly. And by the way, make sure you set it correctly because this is actually going to be visible for the people. Like I said, this is going to be the preview of the form. Next up, we've got the fields, and now you can actually go ahead and you can go ahead and set up the fields. So for example, if you want the first name, if it's a subscription, you would want to keep the first name. You can then make your emails more personalized if that's what you want. But what we can do is actually remove stuff. So for example, if you don't want to include the first name within the form, we can actually go ahead and remove it. And we can also go ahead, except for the email, you can't really remove the email. But we can add new field and we can just add it back. So we just click on that and click on done after we give it a name. And also you can check this if you want it to be a required field. So if you want it to be required, you can just check this and click on done. Next up, you can actually move them around. So if you want this to be at the top, you can do so. Next, we can add a new field. So we can add last name, phone, or birthday. So for example, if you want to give birthday gifts like discounts and stuff, we can actually add the birthday and we can make it mandatory or not. I'm just going to cancel. I'm not going to add it. But we can also add a new field and we have more options here. So whether it's a single line text, this way, if you want to ask them for a specific reason, for subscribing or whatever it may be, you can actually just add this. This way they will need to write something down. If it's a drop down list, it's just going to be a multiple choice. So if you want to ask them a question and then have them answer it, you've got radio buttons, multi-line text, multiple choice, and so much more. So you can just add whatever you want in this form. I'm just going to be adding a drop down list just to make things a little bit unique here. So we can just go ahead and give it a text. How did you hear about us, or whatever it may be that you want to add here. And then you can just add option 1, option 2. So just give it the names that are required, and you can also add more options or delete some if you want. Next up, just make sure you select whether it's a required field or not, and you can display as drop down or red radio buttons. But click on done once you're happy with it, and you can actually see they can select whatever they want. And then we can select adjust more stuff like the button label, submit. We can just change this to subscribe. And we can change other things. For example, if you want to have a disclaimer, you can do so. If you don't, you can just remove it. And here you can also edit more things like the success message, show message, or redirect to another page. Completely up to you. You can select a specific discount if you want, and you can give it more titles here. Basically, this is going to be the success title and stuff. Same goes for styling and stuff. You're just going to choose the fonts that you want to use, and the rest are self-explanatory things. But what I really want to highlight is this email notifications. Make sure you really turn this on. This way, when actually someone submits the form, you will get a notification for the email that you have from the beginning that I showed you, which is this one right here. If you go to settings, it's this one right here. You will be getting notifications for this email, and you can change it from here. Okay. After this is done, we can just go ahead and click on save. And now it should be saved. And now we can actually go ahead and if we just, we can preview here. I guess not. Okay, so anyways, I'm just going to add it to a page and show you how it's actually going to look like. In fact, I'm just going to show you how to add it to a page. So for placement, underneath the same settings, you can go to placement and create either a existing page or create a landing page, which is going to be a separate page for this specific form. And you can give it a title and URL extension, and we can just click on save, and it's actually going to create it for us and add it in there. We can just open theme editor, and it's just going to show us how it's going to look like. And we can also edit a few things when it comes to the form, like the colors and the padding and things like that. So it should be in here. I guess it did not load in yet, but for the time being, before we even restart this, actually let me just restart the page. Give it a little bit of time. It should show up. Okay, there you go. So as you know, Shopify a little bit, once you create any changes, it does take a little bit of time. For example, this, you don't really want it to show twice because you can see the form says it. We can actually go ahead and hide this, and now it's hidden, and you can see already that it is present. So now people need to add their first name, email, and also how did they hear about us. And these two options are showing. Apparently I turned off the other two or something, I don't know, but they should show up, all of them. Regardless, we can just go ahead and submit this, and it should work properly. And if you want to edit things, you can just click on the forms. And we can actually go ahead and change things up and color some colors. We don't really get to change a lot, but we can also change the padding. So for example, if you want more space here, you should be able to adjust this accordingly. You can see now we have more space to breathe, and you can add a footer if you want. So this is pretty much how to create custom forms within Shopify. It's very easy and simple. Just install the Forms app, and it's just going to make your life a lot easier. And this is pretty much it. I hope you liked this video, and thanks for watching.